See, but even though we've heard about this Christ consciousness, many of us have never used it. Many of us have never even touched it. Many of us have never gone beyond our intellect. Many of us have never gone beyond the John the Baptist concept, the John the Baptist consciousness, which is the intellect. See, but what did Jesus say about John the Baptist? See, this makes so much sense. Listen to it. In John 3:30, Jesus said he, meaning the intellect or John the Baptist, he must decrease. And I, meaning the Christ consciousness, must increase. So he's saying there's a place where the intellect has to give way to this Christ consciousness. There's a place where this intellect cannot go. Charles Fillmore said in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, he says, this means that the least, listen to this is so powerful. This means that the least, the very smallest of the spiritual thoughts in man is greater than the mightiest reason of the intellect. And that the intellectual concept of things must give way to the understanding that comes through the Holy Spirit. So there's a part of us that has to let go when we don't know how. There's a part of us that has to decrease and let that part of us that does know how rise up. I was talking to somebody. I've been talking to a lot of people talking about retiring right now. And I was talking to this person recently about retirement, and this person was saying that they're scheduled to retire in 2 years, but that they really want to retire now. They're ready to go now. But the thing is that they've done all the calculations. See, and based on their salary and their scheduled bonuses and their cost of living increases and all the agency regulations associated with retirement, they can't comfortably do it for another 2 years. And that was the words that they used. I don't know how to comfortably do it for another 2 years. And I said to them, so what you're telling me is that your intellect, doesn't know how to do it comfortably for another 2 years. See, and it was interesting because as I was listening to this person tell the story, I was hearing the story of the fly in my mind because it was very similar. This person that could see what they wanted and didn't know how to get to it now. I said, your intellect, maybe it's time for your intellect to decrease and let your Christ consciousness increase. And so they said to me, well, I don't know how to do that. I don't even know when I'm using the intellect. How do I know when I'm using it? So I said, first and foremost, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater because your intellect has brought you up to this point. It has served you well. But what we want to recognize is that anytime we're calling forth something in our consciousness that we can't see as now, we're still in our intellect. If we can't see it as now, we're still caught up in our intellect. Anything in our thought process that says we have to wait, we're still in our intellect. Anything in our thought process that says something has to happen first, we're still in our intellect. And anytime that we are embracing an idea that we don't recognize our oneness with, we're still in our intellect. And that's why I say many of us have never come out of the intellect. Many of us have never touched this consciousness that I'm talking about this morning. See, not only is this person's retirement possible, this person's retirement is possible now. Because even if their intellect doesn't know how to get them there, something within them does. In fact, something within them knows that it has already happened. See, this is why John the Baptist had to be beheaded. The intellect had to be cut back. See, and so you say, well, Dar, this is about money. What is the same thing about health? Maybe our physician doesn't know the answer to our ailments. Maybe they're saying there's no cure. But something within us does. Something goes beyond that intellectual understanding. And it's in every one of us. But Dar, you don't know. I've been through so much in my life, and I'm probably not the best candidate for this Christ consciousness thing that you're talking about. See, what we have to recognize is that there's a power within us that still sees us as that infinite bundle of perfection that we were when we were born. And it was just a moment ago. It was just a moment ago. See, no matter what's transpired, see, we're not broken. I love what Whitney Houston said. She said, we are not made to break. We're not broken. That power still sees us as that infinite bundle of joy that we came into this life experience as a moment ago. So this consciousness that I'm talking about this morning, this consciousness changes everything when we make room for it, when we give it a place to happen. See, when we're no longer working from a deficit, trying to figure out how to get to it, and aware of the fact that it's already happened. See, when we're finally able to hear with our spiritual ears. See, when we hear with our spiritual ears, we understand the jubilation and the celebration of the season. See, when we can hear with our spiritual ears that it's already done, I'm already free, I'm already prosperous, I'm already joy, I'm already it, then we can say, joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let heaven and nature sing. Isn't that something in you that you want to sing when you recognize it's done? And so it is. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.